As Adam Coffey explains, private equity has a playbook on how they approach the financials of a business. Number one, he talked about was the 30%. We're going to go through the 30-20-10 rule in detail and explain how it applies to you and your private practice. So let's start with the 30 first. Coffey explains that you want to have a 30% gross profit margin. So the first thing you need to do to calculate gross profit margin is you have to calculate gross profit. And gross profit is simply gross profit equals total revenue minus cost of goods sold. Now, what is total revenue? Total revenue is all of the money that comes into your practice. You know, all of the co-pays, all of the insurance payments, all of the product sales, all of the money that comes into your practice. Cost of goods sold are material and parts and supplies, direct labor costs, so the cost of your staff, packaging and shipping costs, equipment operational costs, like if you have a laser, the consumables on using that laser, not the overall initial cost of the laser, but the consumables on using that laser. Processing fees and consumer purchases, so the amount that you pay Square or the amount that you pay whatever transaction company you use, and sales commissions. Any sales commissions you may pay for product sales. You calculate all of those, and that's the cost of goods sold. And then you subtract that from your total revenue, and you're going to get your gross profit. And then step two to find your gross profit margins is you take your gross profit and you divide it by your total revenue. And so let's just say, for example, that your gross profit was $100 and your total revenue was $1,000. $100 divided by $1,000 would be 0.1. And then you will multiply that by 100. It would show that your gross profit margins is 10%. Now, Adam Coffey says it must be 30%. So if your gross profit margins are not 30%, then you're tasked with figuring out how can I increase total revenue or how do I decrease my cost of goods sold? Okay, so that's rule number one.